working on the Landrover. We have a small problem where the suspension is a little bit better. Anyway, let me put it on the ramp and I'll try and explain what we're going to do. Let there be light. So basically what's wrong is the wheel, I don't know if it's easy to see, it's not perpendicular with the road. It's got a little bend on it. So the camber, is well off. The caster's the rotation. The toe is the rotation. The caster is the suspension, if you will, so it's the rotation this way. This is the camber, and that is your toe, like that way. So yeah, the camber is well off, and the reason is because the bottom of the suspension strut, so that there is bent. All we need is a replacement strut. So if we can click our fingers. Now because this car is the dynamic, it's got a red badge. It's got this electronics on it and the adaptive suspension they call it. Now because of that, this car is fitted with that. This shock would be $250, and because it's got the adaptive on it, it's like $550. We're going to see if we can install that. That's what this video is about. Obviously we need some tools. We need a trusty torque wrench, some spring tensioners for the shock spring, and probably quite a few other bits that we've got lying around. It's kind of a precarious part of the operation is to compress the spring. That'll be sat on the old one of that. Just a tiny bit, just so when we take the top off, it doesn't launch itself through the ceiling. We'll jack the car up, get the wheel off, get the interior apart, and then get an idea of what we need to do. And that interior panel came off really good. This car is all got dog biscuits everywhere. This car is all snap tolerance fit, which means it's amazing for assembly, amazingly quick. I think it just snaps together. It's really easy to work on. I did this. This is a removable hitch, and I took off this whole pack panel. There's probably 12, 16 screws, that's it, and the rest of it just pops off and clips back in. Here there was just a cigarette lighter and a speaker plug, so let's remove those off. There was only one torque screw here. It was a Pure size 20, I think. Is it SA? I don't know. Just for this screw. And that was it. That's the only screw you had to do for this whole area, and just kind of pull it gently all the way around. Just pops off. Okay, now we can see into the belly of the beast. They've got the wheel off. About jacking up, I used a few redundancy options. This is they're super cheap, like these axle stands. They're $15-20. Now, these things are only a couple of bucks, just in case your parking brake isn't very good. Definitely worth it. They call this part here the knuckle. It's basically what the hub fits into, and there's a bearing inside there. And then this just needs to be, this bolt loosened off, then you can just tap that down. But there are a few other attachment points that we can remove first, just so it, they're just basically electrical P-clips and hydraulic for the brakes. It's quite easy just to remove those and let them move them out of the way. So we've got a bit of a tie rod here as well. That looks like it comes from this roll bar back here. Okay, so we undid that guy, it's all good. We've undone these guys. I'm going to kind of leave it all in place. Okay, now we're trying to knock this knuckle, this piece here. I can illuminate it and point at it. That wants to go down, and the strut wants to stay in place. Now I kind of rigged up this jack. Reason I didn't use it to jack the car up, or to hold the car up, with this pole. So I can hold the suspension up and jack it up as high as possible, or quite a bit, and so it means this hub will be able to drop down. It'll give it more room. So now I should be able to just hammer this down. I've put some WD-40 in there. Hopefully I'll get to work and lube it up a little bit, and I should be able to just knock that knuckle down and off. Then I can take the jack away and just drop the suspension out. In theory, that's how it works. Okay, I hit it a lot and it didn't move anywhere. I was actually trying with a rubber mallet, and I was using a metal mallet, and it was kind of damaging the knuckle a bit more than I liked. So I rigged up this real dodgy solution with an old jack, and you can see that's working. Pushing it down. So I'll just keep doing that like a few millimeters at a time, and it'll just push it off very slowly. I'm not gonna lie, but that was pretty challenging getting that out, but now it's out. You can see hands are all screwed up. So now I'll just undo the top bolts. So here we're looking, you can see this, to brighten it up a little. We basically got the top nut here for the suspension, so we don't want to do that because that would basically ping it downwards at a nice velocity. So we want to remove this bit of padding, pad assembly. So here we've got just three nuts. So my idea is that if we release those, it will release the head of the suspension going down, but we have to undo. Okay, so here it is. She's out. So this top plate is still kind of holding the spring tight. Is that visible? I don't know. Yeah, it's pretty, there you go, look at that. I don't think it's meant to be like that. Now I need to put the clamps on and take this top piece off. Well, here we are. The earth has rotated a little more and we're back in the garage. Fresh mind always helps figure things out. So I've got the new shock, old shock, bent shock, hopefully straight shock. This is some kind of trickery on here. They've got a special tool, I guess, which locks the outside plate while it undoes the nut. Or you can actually put an Allen key in the middle. I'm hoping I can just, it's an 18mm if you're playing along at home. So I'm hoping I can just use the bar here, and maybe as I rotate the bar, we'll see if that works. Put the spring compressors on here. They're a bit, I don't know if that matters. We'll kind of see as we undo it, I guess. It looks kind of loose up here, so we'll see. I won't undo it completely unless I'm sure. Okay, I had to resort to the big boy here, but that kind of worked, so I just basically stopped it from spinning by levering it and then anchored that out. And there we go. That wasn't too difficult and it didn't fire up in the air, which is kind of nice. That's a meaty beast, isn't it? Multiple pieces, I guess it's fixed. This is just connected with dirt. Yeah. That was just connected with dirt. I do have another one of these, but I'm not sure it's the same. It kind of looks like the same thing, so I'll switch that out. So we'll kind of lift this out. I say gently, but I didn't really do it gently there. Kind of surprised of how much crap build up there is in here. You would hope that cover would keep it out, but I guess it doesn't. For here, I don't really know what that is, but we need to switch that over. This is it. So we have the new one, we have to laden her up with the spring and stuff, and the old one is kaput, ready for the skip. I don't know if the bend is visible on camera as it is to me. There you go, so that's the same way as I had it. I'm going to stick some grease on here because I saw all the dirt that built up. That'll sort itself out. The spring back in, very gingerly. Has the indents for the spring, so it's quite easy. What I don't get is getting it on the other side, isn't it? There we go. Get the top cap back on. I think this is completely symmetrical. The screw back on and torque that up. Similarly, you can just slowly release these. These are good. These are only $20, I think. Last you for life. The beautiful new suspension strut is ready to go back in the car, I would think. I'm looking at the bottom end, it's got this bit that sticks out, and I was wondering how the hell that knuckle it slides it into or off. How the hell does it get past that? Because you would have thought it'd be a stopper. But this is only plastic, so you can just, there you go. It's just got some like snap clearance fits in there. So you can just feed that through the knuckle, slide it on, and then pop the cap back on. If you don't have the dynamic one with the adaptive suspension, you won't have this at all. You won't have any of that wiring. So it'll only cost you half the price for the strut. And before we go back in, I'm going to slap some of my favourite grease on it, which is what we're going to have a lot of getting this back in, I think. Okay kids, we're coming back in with this beauty. Now this isn't really a one person job, but when you don't have any friends, what do you do? I'm going to have to like get it close and then maybe jack it up so I can put these fasteners in. Not really sure how else to do this. Okay, so I've put those back up top, just loosely so it doesn't drop down again. So quite a lot of fettling here. I put this rod back on, but it was actually making it a lot harder because this anti-roll bar would stop it going up. So I've loosened that off now again, and it's messing around, and I'm about a little bit less than an inch from succeeding. Got a lot of grease in here, so it's really helping me slowly achieve this, but I don't know. It's sliding up and down a little. I'm just very gently easing it on. It's not the easiest job in the world. Oh, there we go. She's gone. She's gone. So basically what I did is I tried to get it concentric as much as possible with this knuckle, and I moved the jack around different places to jack it up slowly. Once it got on probably a centimetre, then I got it underneath, and it kind of slid on quite well, as you see. I think I have to pop this roll bar down under. It's kind of got stuck where it is, and you can see this here. It's supposed to line up. So that roll bar is far too high, so I'll have to get under that and lever it. So that pinged over there quite well. Nearly took my hand off when it did it. So now I've just got to align this guy up. The roll bar should stay where it is. There we go. Just want a ball socket, so you just get it lined up, it's not too bad. And then I can put that nut back on. We're pretty much done, so I've reconnected this is the suspension sensor, so this bracket here supported the brake pad indicator from that brake pad wire indicator, the suspension clip on there, and then on the other side you've got the electronics for the brakes and the hydraulics for the brakes. Reattach this rod up here, reattach the anti-roll mounting bracket I undid, tightened up the knuckle clamp on this horizontal bar, which is the aft one for the toe adjustment, if you will. This support, there's a suspension ride sensor on there, so reattach that. It's just a rubber push on and off clip. Going to stick the wheel back on here, put the ramp back under, drop it, and then I've got to do the interior, make sure the interior is back tidy. It's a pretty involved job. Especially on your own, it's more of a two-man job, I think. Back on the inside, we've just got the couple of cables, one for the speaker, one for the 12 volt plug, lighter socket plug. We have the interior here, so to work on that. That was a lot easier than I thought. Even though I forgot to put the pad assembly in, so I had to pull the top back off again. But it's easy, always easy the second time. Yeah, they design it so it goes together really well. Hopefully. That was a pretty involved job. Probably took 4 hours, maybe a bit more, a lot quicker with somebody else. The quote was $2,500 because they included quite a few parts that I didn't replace, didn't think were damaged, and the majority of the price was the strut, which was $800, which is $300 more than I paid, and then a lot of labour. So I paid $550 plus 4 or 5 hours work. Saved $2,000. Obviously, people normally just go to the insurance and then pay their excess, which would have been $1,000. But then your premium goes up, but generally insurance gets more expensive. So now it's time for a good cup of tea and a chocolate biscuit, well deserved. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.